Well, hey there, this is Jerry bringing you another episode of What's Broke Today, and today we're working on my 77 F150, and we're going to change out the heater core, which we got access from the dash that I got to start out with. I'll stick my camera up in here. This panel here has got to come out, and you can see up here on top I got, that's a 7/16 headed bolt there. There's one hidden back over there in the corner down there, which I don't know if you can see with the camera or not. And then got to come down here, and I had a relay here. I already took it out, but I got 5/16, another 7/16, 7/16 here, and then after I get all four of those nuts removed, which I use my cordless ratchet and a long extension to go up in between the boot up here to get to that top one, and then we just pull this towards you and down, and make sure you unhook the vacuum hose off of the fresh air recirculate door. But once you get that unhooked, there's your evaporator core. All right, well, I'm going to try and work with my camera running. So I may, because I got it on a little tripod sitting on the floorboard, and needless to say, it's I don't know, kind of in the way, but I'm going to see what I can do. That because see, this panel here's got to come out, and we got two screws going into the evaporator, and then got to take this little sensor out, and I'm just going to unplug the wires off of it. And just, I don't know if it matters, but you know, the green wire is toward the door and the black wire is toward the center of the truck. But that's like our thermistor for our AC compressor. So if the evaporator starts to ice up, that thermistor will shut the compressor off. And these wires go to the blower motor, which I'm going to unplug, because or try to at least. There we go, because they go through this little booty here. But get that out of the way. Okay, we get those four screws out, and let's see that. Grab this panel and pull. Yeah, but those are, I don't know, 5/16 headed and about a 1/2 inch long. Seeing that, it seems like that slid out there easier than that, but it may just be stuck because it's been in there. I mean, I've had this out, but it's been a little while. There we go. I don't think I missed any screw. Oh, there we go. It was just stuck. Oh yeah, because I didn't need that bottom screw is the evaporator screw, and then I'll push that boot through there, and then get that back through that hole. I can take this out of the way. Yeah, and that screw I took out down here on the bottom was the same as that one for the evaporator. So I'll go ahead and take the other one out. And then there's two more on top, but we're going to move next to out under the hood. And now, since I got to pull the evaporator loose and pull it out, there's a cover on here on the outside that's held in with two 5/16 screws, but the bottom one's super easy to see and get to, because I don't want to drop these, because I'm parked, front of the truck's parked over gravel. And the top one's easy to see. It's just, well, it ain't terribly bad getting your fingers up there. This metal plate pulls out and off. And then it's not in very good shape, but there is a rubber thing that goes around there, around the lines, that I've had this out of here because the I've had to change the blower motor, which you gotta, of course, you gotta take all this stuff apart to get in there and change the blower motor. So that's why this thing isn't in very good shape, because it's old and brittle. And that just gives it room for the lines to move as I pull the evaporator out. And then also, while we're up here, I'm gonna unhook the hoses going to the heater core. Because yeah, at first I thought I could be, wondered, because I'd had these hoses off, was hoping they wasn't what was leaking and going on the inside, but I had no signs of coolant on the outside. And of course, those screws that I took off on the inside, they hold this in. That the only thing that's still retaining it is there's another one of those, or two more of those screws over on this side that you don't have to take out to take this stuff apart. But as we get those unhooked, okay, now we get back to the inside, and there's two more of those 5/16 headed screws on top of the evaporator. So I'm gonna pull one. I might have to get a wrench to get on that one. I'm also going to take this ductwork out that goes to the passenger side vent, just to get it out of the way. That'll give me better view. I don't know that it helps you out. But yeah, the cowl's in the way of getting to that. But if he was changing the blower motor, you'd be doing all this same stuff I'm doing, and then there's a little bit more. But there's both of those screws out. Make sure wires are out of the way. And then I don't know if you can see up here the shiny stuff. Because that rubber thing was messed up on the outside, this is that, you'd buy them at Home Depot for sealing air conditioning ductwork. Oh. Alright, so grab our evaporator and just start pull it toward us. And yeah, that stuff I put up here is in the way. There we go. And then we I might have to take my air cleaner off, because I bet you the lines are hitting the air cleaner. You got to get this pulled out and moved around, and that's easier said than done. Main thing is moving that around and trying to get it out of there without damaging it, which is hard. Because I'm going to need to take and straighten some fins up. But once you get that loose, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to just stick the camera up in there, and I hope you can see. But here at the bottom of the heater core, there's a strap that goes across, and over on, which I can't see my little screen, but there's a 5/16 headed bolt on one side, and then over on the other kind of down low. And then the strap at the top goes into a hole on the left side. It has a 5/16 headed on the right. Got to pull those out, and there won't be room for camera and me, so I'll pull those out and I'll show you those straps once they're out. Which this little strap is a top, and yeah, this little strap is a top, and that end hooks in there and then comes over, and then the screw goes in the right hand side up high, and then the bottom one just has a screw on the left and here down in a little pocket, and then a screw on the right. And what now what I did there was went outside and pushed on the fittings on the heater core. Then I'll reach up in here, and which is easier said than done, and try and pull the bottom out a little, because you can't really grab it that well from the inside. So I'll go back and forth and wonder if I can move the temperature door will help me any. Probably the only good thing about this is when I'm pulling it out, if I'm pulling this thing out, any coolant that leaks out is going to end up going out through the AC drain. Alright. Now this little rubber thing that's on top and on the bottom, I think you have to reuse, because I don't think it comes in the kit with the heater core. You just got to carefully peel this off. It's easier said than done. It's stuck on there pretty good. But I was looking, trying to see if I could figure out where it was actually leaking at. Yeah, I can't tell, but yeah, let's say this piece at the top and this piece on the bottom you'll have to reuse, and then and then this piece comes off, I'll reuse it. But the new heater core usually already has this foam here on it, or if it's not on it, it's in the box. So yeah, I'm gonna get these things peeled off and get ready to go back together. Got my new heater core out. I pulled these things off and swapping them over and just lay them up there, and then the one on the side, got to pay attention because it kind of goes in with the narrow side toward the front, so when it fits up in, it wedges in. And I know you won't be able to see me stuffing this back in the hole, and probably don't want to hear all the words I'm going to use, because this may be the worst part of it, is trying to hold all these and put it back in the hole. So I'll come back once I get that in. I'm going to tell you, putting those brackets back in, you almost have to be a contortionist, because I don't bend that well, but I got them both back in there and the heater core in place. And now we're going to put the evaporator back in. Now I get my flashlight out of the way. try to. And then very carefully we'll take this evaporator, work it back up, and get it somewhat close. And then I can go to the outside because the lines kind of get hung up. I just pull it a little from the outside and then come back in here and just kind of work it, go back and forth to work it back up in its hole. And then get all my screws. This is another thing with the camera there. There you go to the outside. I got to push the hole. Oh, there we go. I can just pull on that screw. Me working these screws I took out are what hold that whole box in, so I had partially pushed it out of its opening. I run those up, but then I'll actually finish them off with my wrench. Make sure that I don't want to over tighten them. I can take a couple and go to the top. Alright, that looks good. Okay, then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go get this stuff and make me new ones of these. Yeah, when I was talking about that stuff I used around the pipe on the inside, forgot it wasn't the stuff from Home Depot. If it serves me correct to remember, I know someone that works up at one of the Ford assembly plants, and this is heat shield for a F150 of some kind. But basically all I do is I'm going to cut two pieces with some tin snips, which sometimes easier said than done. Would help if I had good tin snips, but I got cheap things. But I cutting off a piece, so let's see. That's probably not quite an inch and a half wide, like that, and then I'll take something like that, and then I had it cut out for the lines, so I just kind of lay that up there and try and mimic what I did last time. Sometimes easier said than done, but and that's sharp. Because this outer layer is some kind of aluminum, and that's got a foam pad, and it's supposed to be heat shield material. So, and this is just peel and stick stuff. It's got a plastic backing that if you ever get a hold of it, peels right off. There we go. Peel that off, and then it is sticky. Position the camera, and basically I peeled the stuff off the back side. I'm just going to reach up in here, stick it up around those lines as best I can, and then stick that one down. Now I'll grab the other one, and I'll reach through here with this arm. I'll stick that across there, and yeah, basically just cover that hole as best I can. That I didn't do as good a job this time as I did last time, don't look like, but okay, then we'll put that back through there and get our blower fan wires through the hole, and make sure you got all the other wires out of the way, and that's got to go in the evaporator. Stick that up there. Then we got one. Okay, and our black wire was closer to the left. Green was to the right. We plug in our blower motor. Make sure our sensor's up in there. And make sure you put the ductwork up in here before you put the rest of the box in, because this is hard to put in there once you put the cover back over that. I mean, you can get it in there, but get that locked up there. All that looks good. Of course, my panel got a little wet because it was sprinkling rain. Take this, work our way up in there and try and avoid catching things we don't want to. And it'll slide over those studs sticking through the firewall. Like I can reach up here and start this one by hand on top. And these two are real easy to start. And then this one goes, the screw goes clear over here. And then I think I can get my hand up in there. It's a little tight, but you get up here. Okay, I got it started. Well, I got the final nut in back there in the corner that it's just hard to get to, and then others are tight, all looks well. Make sure you hook up the vacuum hose. At this point, you would put, if you had a good liner, you could put that back in the glove box, but now I got left to do is refill the coolant and run some tests that well, that's going to finish up our replacement of my heater core on the 77 Ford. That yeah, hoping I didn't edit out anything that you might have needed to have seen, but this is one after I edit it, I'm actually going through and watch the whole thing, because I've noticed on a couple other videos that I probably could have I should have watched the whole thing before I posted it, because I wasn't, some of them, especially on Rusty, I wasn't as happy as I thought I'd be, because I looked like I did a lot of jumping around. But it is what it is. I'm learning as I go. That I do appreciate you watching. Always like that thumbs up for a like. Love having all the subscribers that I've got. I'd love to have a bunch more. I appreciate you watching, and no telling what else you're going to see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.